Hi, I'm Derek.
I'm Steven.
And welcome to the RC Lawn Chair Pilot's 1 year episode. Yes! Yeah. We made it.
Yes.
Roll.
Okay.
Welcome back.
How's it going, guys? I can't believe we've been doing this for a year,
Yep, it's a little crazy.
and I still don't know how to work my microphone.
If you point it at you instead of up, it might.
Well, then it's at my chest. 'Cause,
Well, you pick it up and you point it at you.
I mean, it's
There you
only
go.
been a year.
Yeah.
So,
I doubt we'll ever have we will never have a professional anything,
no.
but still. So,
But
welcome.
whatever. How's everybody doing?
I'm doing great.
Yeah, so am I. It's been a busy couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, not much with RC stuff for me. But,
I've been
you know.
busy in both aspects. It's been nice.
Yeah. All right. Do we have any news to cover?
Hit up our RC battery sponsor, rcbattery.com.
Check it out.
They've got awesome stuff, and they've constantly got new stuff coming in. They recently got a new couple series of chargers.
Okay. Cool.
And I think they have a couple new series, a couple sizes of batteries that are new to come in. So go hit those up.
Yeah, check them out.
And they have more. They have them in more than just the XT60 and XT30 and the XT series connectors. Like
They have other connectors.
yeah, they have like the EC connectors, the Horizon Hobby ones.
Oh, okay.
So not the Spectrum Smart Battery ones, but just the regular blue EC battery connectors.
Oh, okay.
The kind that used to be on your Radian before we switched it out.
Yeah.
So yeah, hit them up for all your battery needs. Great prices, great people.
Very cool.
Yeah. Hey guys, real quick, just wanted to throw in an update that we completely missed in the news section of our episode. Due to busy summer schedules and kind of a lack of availability to get out and do stuff and fly and things, we are going to be dropping down from our 2-week episodes down to 1-month episodes. This way we hope to provide you guys with better content, some better actual stories of what we've been doing, rather than just us kind of rambling and going, oh, I didn't do anything this week. So yeah, because we want to be able to share the stories with you guys. That's the fun stuff. So we'll be going down to 1 month or monthly episodes for the foreseeable future. We'll let you know if that ever changes. But yeah, tune in or keep tuning in. You can follow us on Instagram to see regular updates of what we're working on and what's going on with us. But yeah, we'll make sure all that ends up in the episodes as well. So thanks. That is all news-related stuff that I have.
That's all news.
I'd share the latest update from Sig Manufacturing, but I think they've gotten busy, and they didn't post an update this week.
Okay.
Which is understandable because last week's update actually came in a little late.
So they're just getting busier and busier, which is good. This is good.
They actually have stock that they need to deal with and get out to customers.
Yeah, and that's very awesome.
So that's going on. I don't think we have. Yeah, their last update was last month. I don't have any other news.
All right. I mean, yeah, I don't really have any news either.
Do you guys have any news?
Thank you.
Oh, that's cool.
That's nice.
Nice.
And when we hear it, we'll share it with anybody. We'll share it with you guys. How about products? Do you have any new products?
Yes.
I thought did you talk about that one already?
Which one?
I don't know. Which one are you going to talk about?
I have 4.
If you have 4, oh, well. All right. What's your new products?
So on my Tandem X20, it has built-in internal antennas.
Okay, yeah.
The 2.4 gig antenna is inside the frame of the screen.
Yeah, yeah.
It's got two poles, one vertical along the vertical axis of the screen and one along the top horizontal axis of the screen.
Yeah.
And
vaguely remember talking about that.
Yeah. And then the 900 megahertz antenna is inside the carrying handle on the back.
Okay.
So it's all built internal. But you do have the option of connecting external antennas.
Okay. And did you do that then?
Well, I didn't do it yet, but I bought them.
Are they here yet?
They are. That's what these are.
That's what that is. Sweet.
And when you plug in these external antennas, like they're high efficiency, very good antennas.
Okay.
So I have here, this is the Zip 9 antenna.
Whoa.
It is the 900 megahertz. Since we're FCC, it's specifically 915 megahertz. So it's just got a little coaxial connector that I just screw in there and have it sticking out the front, and I can connect it and disconnect it with every use. But it has a very good polarity pattern to it.
Okay.
That's upside down. There you go. I don't know if you'll be able to see this. Probably not. But it's got very good polarity to it. It's a good high efficiency antenna. And it's as simple as plugging it in, like screwing it in and selecting I'm using the external antenna on the transmitter.
Okay.
So I have to tell it which antenna I'm using, external or internal. But then I'm good to go. And like using these external antennas is supposed to increase your signal strength as well as your range.
Well, yeah, I mean, with a stronger signal strength, you're going to increase the range.
Yep.
I mean, that...
So I got this from Aloft Hobbies. It was $15.
It's not too bad.
No, it's not bad at all. Then I also got the 2.4 gig version. It's called the Infinity 24 transmitter antenna. It is this funny little figure. I'm not going to pull it out of the foam yet, but it's this figure 8 shape with a very flexible antenna cable. And again, you screw it into the outside. You select that you're using the 2.4 external, and it drastically increases your range. They're both FreeSky products. They are specifically from FreeSky.
Okay.
Again, awesome polarity. So these will be great when I'm flying in tandem with 900 megahertz, not guns, RC airplanes. I was talking a lot of guns yesterday at my dad's house. So when I'm using both types of receivers, having both of these connected, and I will have like...
Can you plug both of them in at the same time?
Uh-huh, yeah.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, you can plug both in at the same time and use them at the same time, just like you can use the internal ones at the same time.
That is very cool.
So, alarm. So like they advertised that by using these external antennas, you increase your range to like 50 to 100 kilometers. So well beyond visual line of sight.
Yeah.
But
well, that's pretty cool.
Like
that should help with like noise also.
Yeah, like that's going to improve signal strength.
Noise, because your signal strength is going to be stronger, so you'll be blowing the noise out, and it won't be affecting you as much.
Yeah. Yep. Okay, we're going to take a quick pause. My children took crazy pills today. Okay, so yeah. So those are the two antennas that I got. I also got two other doodads. One, the FreeSky XRS SIM dongle. So this is, gosh darn it. In the box. It's just straight down in the corner. This is a receiver with a USB stick. It's basically an XSR receiver, or RXSR receiver, so pre-Archer. It runs on the D16 ACCST protocol, version 2.1.0. But you plug it into your computer, and you control you connect to your simulator wirelessly, no USB cord.
That's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, it was $20. I did have to open it up and flash it to the latest firmware because it came with the older ACCST D16 firmware. But that was pretty easy. I was able to load the firmware onto the firmware file on my transmitter, plug this into the smart... There's a plug in here that you can connect to with a servo lead, basically. And then you plug that into your transmitter and you just flash the firmware to an external device and it automatically flashes it to this.
Sweet.
Took maybe 5 minutes. And I've been flying. It's been nice to actually fly and actually feel how the tandem feels in my hand. It's very different from the Tyrannus X9D Plus.
Yeah, I'm sure.
So that's taking a lot of getting used to. But overall, I'm liking it so far.
Okay.
So I'm
so you can connect to this. Or both your transmitters can connect to this.
They could. You have to, so since this is not access protocol, it's ACCST. Every time I switch models on my transmitter, like if I want to switch between my real flight model or my Pika Sim model, I have to rebind.
Oh, do you really?
Yeah.
Oh, Oh, that kind of sucks.
Whereas Access, you register it and you bind it to the various models, and you never have to bind it again. You just pick which model you're using.
Yeah.
So that is the downside of ACCST, but it's fine. It's not a big deal because the bind button's there. You just press the bind button while you plug it in. It starts flashing. You tell it to bind on your transmitter, and you're good to go.
Okay.
So it's pretty straightforward.
That's pretty cool, though.
Yeah. So it's been nice to actually get flying again. I'm enjoying it. So that's that. And then the final thing that I haven't done anything with, but I'm excited for, this is the FreeSky Mini voltage sensor, excuse me. So you plug this in, you plug the balance lead. You got to make sure you put it in the right orientation, otherwise you fry the whole thing.
That's always fun.
Yeah. But you plug the balance lead of your LiPo battery into these plugs down the side.
Okay.
And then you plug on the other side. Wow, that is not taped on there well. Whatever. On the other side is the smart port connection. So you run the servo cable it comes with from that smart port to the smart port connection on your receiver.
Okay.
And this sends back the telemetry data of your battery. So it'll send back your individual cell voltages.
Very nice.
And maybe more. I don't know. I haven't used it yet because that's one thing I want to be able to accurately measure, and you can't do that when there's a BEC between the receiver and your battery.
No.
Because the Archer battery receivers will send back the telemetry of your battery, but they just send back the voltage they're receiving from it.
Yeah. So
so they're getting 5 or 9 or whatever volts,
or 12 or 14 or whatever it's set up
whatever
for.
your BEC is sending back, which
Yeah.
is most likely between 5 and 10. So this will tell me exactly the telemetry of my battery.
Very cool.
So I can monitor that in flight, and I can set up alerts to when the voltage of a single cell drops down to 3.7 or whatever I choose. I will get an alert, and then I'll clearly feel it, but then I will know I need to bring it in now.
Yeah.
So I'm excited for that. That's going to be fun. I'm going to put that. That'll be something that I transfer between models and between receivers.
Yeah, yeah. And the nice thing is it just goes in line.
Yeah, exactly. And it weighs almost nothing. It's
not
only a
going to
couple
affect
grams.
pretty much any of your aircraft.
It won't affect anything I put it in. And I'm not going to put it in like my Willy-Nilly's Gentle Lady. That's just too small.
I mean, you could.
I could, but I'm not going to.
Your real estate is low on the Gentle Lady.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of real estate, so.
No. So that's going to go in stuff like the Stinson and the Spirit.
Yeah.
And the F-16.
Plus, the thing like your Flying Wing or the Gentle Lady, like the battery that you're putting in there, you're going to get 45 minutes to an hour worth of flight.
Not the Flying Wing. I might get 10.
Oh, really? Oh, that's even a smaller battery. That's right.
That's a small battery, and it requires a lot of power to move it through the air. Like, that is not a slow-flying plane.
Yeah, that one requires. So that one, not so much. But the Gentle Lady, you're not going to be using a ton of power on that thing.
No, not unless I use unless I'm using the power pod, and then I'll use a little bit, but that still won't be terrible.
Yeah. Or you're doing some kind of crazy acrobatic stuff.
Yeah.
Which potentially in the future, but not
potentially, but probably not. It's a 2-channel glider.
Yeah.
So those are my new products. I'm very excited for them. Do I have anything else? I do have one other thing.
What is it?
So the Cub that I'm building with my father-in-law.
Uh-huh.
I was going to put the Sato FA82B Nitro 4-stroke motor on it.
Oh yeah, where is it at?
It's gone. It's on its way to Missouri. I sold it.
Whoa.
For exactly what I bought it for, so I'm all right with that.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that.
Exactly. But no, I decided nitromethane fuel is about $30 a gallon.
Okay.
That is absurd.
Yeah,
and it spoils pretty quick.
But that you're not gonna you're putting ounces in a plane.
Yeah.
Like 4.
So I'd go through at least a gallon in one flying season. No, you put like in the Cub, I'd put in like a 12-ounce tank.
Okay, but 12 ounces, and that's going to get you quite a bit of flying time.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that I'm not
No, but
I'm just saying
here's
that
what I'm doing.
That $30 a gallon is going to get you more than one fly. I mean, like
Well,
you're not going
yeah.
to buy a gallon. You'd buy half a gallon, and that would get you through the season of flying.
True, but that's still $15 to $20 that I'm spending on that fuel.
I mean,
I could instead go to the gas station and buy a gallon of fuel for $3.50 and put in a bit of oil and
go
run it on.
two-stage.
No, and then run it on the FG14C,
Okay.
which is a gas four-stroke engine.
A four-stroke. Oh, okay.
So it's still four-stroke,
Yeah.
but it runs on regular gas and an oil mixture instead of nitro. So I can then feel okay if I mix up a gallon of fuel, use half of it, and the rest spoils, and I can't use it,
Because it's
and I can discard it properly.
that would only be about $5 with the mix.
Exactly. Then I'm only out a few bucks instead of
Yeah.
a lot of bucks.
I mean, okay, I'm not opposed to it. I'm just like those that are flying the difference between the nitro and the gas. Give us your comments of what you think about his decision here,
Yeah,
because we would like to talk about it, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I don't think I don't know one is better than the other. I just
Cost of fuel. Like the gas engine is more expensive up front.
okay.
Like the gas engine's twice as much as the nitro engine.
Okay.
It also uses a ignition module because it has an actual spark plug that it has to have timing with
Yeah.
and spark. So you need a battery for that ignition module. So
Not a big deal.
it
for
could
that,
be a little bit more weight.
there's a downfall potentially.
So potentially, yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm like the module that comes on the F14C or the FG14C is new and very lightweight and small.
Okay.
And it's got a nice long cord so I can run it back to the center of gravity so I don't have to worry so much about balance issues,
All right.
potentially.
Yeah.
And it's the exact same size as the FA82, so it should
fit right
fit
in.
right in, no issues. But the fuel is a tenth. Like that right there sells me.
Okay.
I will be more excited, and it's like when you're flying nitromethane fuel, it's very messy. Like there's a lot of spray out of your muffler, and it makes a mess of your plane. You have to wash your plane,
Okay.
like wipe your plane down. You don't get that with gas.
Okay.
At least not nearly as much from what I've heard. So
As
clean
long as your oil mix is right.
right.
Because if you're heavy on oil, then
Well, yeah. So long as you have it tuned properly
you'll
and all that.
get.
So fuel is cheaper, cleanup is easier. Those are my pros. Like I will feel good about flying that plane a lot. Whereas if
The
it
other
were
one,
nitro, I'd be like, I have to regulate my flying so that I don't use up more than the 1 gallon and I end up wasting most of a gallon for buying 2 gallons. So I will feel better about flying that plane
Like
in
I
a
said,
gas engine.
I just find it interesting, and I would
Yeah.
love to hear your because I know there's people out there that are flying nitro.
Oh, yeah.
I know there's people out there that are flying gas, and I'm sure there's a heavy debate out there because
Mhm.
anytime there's two things that are like, there's a heavy debate going electric versus using a fuel source.
Yeah.
And
don't get me wrong, nitro's awesome. It's just expensive, and I have a limited budget.
And
So
that's-
the cheaper I can get out and fly, the better.
yeah, and I would say that's a great reason to change.
Yeah.
So
And since my father-in-law goes on the build, like it's our build together, he helped me pick up the gas engine. It should be here on Wednesday.
sweet.
So before this releases, I'll have it. If I do, I'll put up pictures on my Instagram.
So look for that, or have looked for that. I'm not sure how to say that because that's in the future,
Yeah.
but it'll be the past for this.
Have Will had looked for it?
Anyway,
That Big Bang clip that I did that one
Yeah.
time?
yeah. I do want to hear your comments about that. So
Yeah.
let us know what you think. And obviously keep it civil, but we would like to hear your thoughts on the different fuels and what your pros and cons and what you're currently flying, if
Yeah.
you're a fuel flyer right now. So,
Yep.
well,
So,
very cool.
that's
Good luck
exciting.
with
That is-
learning how to use that because it'll be a little bit different.
It'll be it takes a little bit more careful tuning.
yeah,
to
I
set it up,
imagine
but
so.
I will I will feel okay burning through a ton of fuel tuning that in perfectly.
And then once you learn how to use that and tune in that 4-stroke, you can then come over and help me with one of the 4-stroke engines that I have. It's not for a airplane.
On one of your scooters?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Aren't those 2 strokes?
That might be a 2-stroke.
I'm pretty sure
I
those
have
are
to
2
look at it.
strokes. 4 strokes on scooters are big.
All of my other ones, I only have one that's gas. The other rest are all electric.
I'm pretty sure it's a 2-stroke, but yeah, we'll look at it.
Maybe it is.
Maybe.
But then you'll learn. You'll know, and I know there's a difference between 4 and 2, but you'll have a conceptual understanding of it.
There's a 2-stroke engine on my weed eater, and I know how to work that.
Yeah, see? I don't.
And it's basically the same engine
I have
as on
all
a
electric
scooter.
stuff. Because fuel is messy. So, again, Nate, don't get mad at me.
What happens when an EMP goes off? We're all hosed.
I mean, fuel is messy.
It's true. All right, so there you go.
And as long as my electronic equipment is turned off, it doesn't matter if the EMP goes off. It only affects it if it's on.
Yeah, okay.
Or really close to the source.
Yeah.
Because then it could, through some electrical phenomenon but it could then affect it.
Science with Steven.
Yeah. Not going to go into that. Yeah, most of you probably know more about that than I do, but that's your product. So nice. That's cool.
Do I have any others? I don't think so.
I don't have any new products.
No, that's it.
I am looking for a truck. I can't decide if I want to go for a speed or for a rock crawler.
Oh, RC truck.
What would I be talking about?
I thought big, like full-scale real truck. I'm like, why?
But RC.
Okay.
Full scale.
But RC.
But I'm gonna control it with my TX90.
There you go.
Or
QX7.
My QX7. Sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. So what have you been looking? So rock
I've
crawler
looked
or
at
speed?
the 1/10 size of the same ones that you've looked at.
SCX10.
Yeah, I've looked
Those
at
are
those.
sweet.
Those are pretty awesome. I've also briefly looked at some. I don't remember the brand of racing truck car. They're
the trucks.
Well, some have it's
there's trucks and buggies and truggies.
Well, these that I've looked at are all the same frame basically, and you just you can put a different top, and they have truck ones, they have buggy one, and it's
that's essentially what the SCX 24s and 10s are.
Yeah, they're very similar to that. Yeah,
like my Savage X HPI Savage. That thing, I have 3 different shells for that.
Yeah, so the ones I've been looking at, they have I can buy the beginning kit, which will have a shell, and then you can change out the whole aspect of the thing. So
you can buy new shells and paint them.
Yeah, those start around. I think the cheap ones I saw for $260, but the ones I was really looking at were right around the $850 mark.
Where were you looking?
All over the place, both hobby stores that are local here and online.
Okay.
So going to where do I get the advertisements? I get advertisement. It's not. I don't remember. There's one I get advertised.
Hobby King, Horizon Hobby.
Horizon Hobby.
Okay.
Horizon Hobby. So I've looked at a couple on there. So
nice.
I haven't decided for sure. Mostly the decision process will take a while because I got to save up some money.
Yeah.
So, but
talking to the guy, so the guys over at the back counter of West Valley Hobbies, they're very into the cars.
Yeah.
So yeah, talking to them will be good.
I should
at least get ideas.
Get over there.
Talk to them, watch some YouTube videos on their recommendations,
and see what I like.
Yeah.
Although the 1/10 might be something I'll get anyway,
yeah.
just because having fun with the 160 or 124th.
Yeah.
Those have been.
Oh, me and the boys, we were out there earlier
pretty
tonight.
Awesome. They're dirty. I can see you're playing with them. They're
the water, the little island in my front yard with the rocks and stuff. I have a course.
Yeah, that's awesome. You need to take some video of that and put it out
there. I did.
It's
already on Instagram.
Oh well, you need to make longer videos and put it in YouTube.
I do. But that requires editing time, and I don't have that right now. I barely have that right now.
So true. So true.
And the little free time I do have, I've been spending on building.
So, I mean, we've mostly been in the air, right? but those of you that have been participating or consuming this and that are like the cars, the rock crawlers, whatever, let me know if you have any that you really like. Obviously, I want to go hobby style so I can replace all of the parts when I break them.
Yep.
Because I will probably break them.
Yep.
Just because. And my tiny trainer is still not been completed. So that's the other product that I have that I haven't finished yet. And I think about it all the time because it's in my office.
You could finish it.
I need to clean off my office because my office has been needs some love, and I haven't cleaned it lately. So I've been working on other projects.
Yeah.
So, but it's on the list.
I think you could easily finish it on your own.
I probably could just turn on the video for it and just watch it. And
one step at a time. Yeah.
Yep. Do it.
Because the power pod's done, the main fuselage is done. You could easily do the rest of it.
Yeah, I really could. It's just literally taking the time.
Yep.
Applying the time. So, but that's the only things. Like, I haven't actually got anything new, but that's what I'm looking at. I got to tell you a story. My sister-in-law. This is This is a long story. I'm gonna cut it down. But she bought a couple kayaks. Just recently I was on vacation up in Idaho near a lake, and she was gonna take the kayaks, and she got talked out of it because where we were going, the neighbors were gonna have kayaks and we could borrow them and whatever. Anyway, we didn't. We just played in the lake, not with the kayaks. But after she bought the kayaks, she had found out that her brother and her father had just bought boats, RC boats.
Oh, fun.
So guess what her job is now?
Buying another boat?
No, she is now the retriever.
Oh, because she's in the kayak.
Because she's in the kayak.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, that's such a great idea. I have to know when you guys go.
That's funny.
But they have a house. They have property, not a house. It's just property up in between Strawberry and Deer Creek.
Oh, sweet.
It's closer to Deer Creek. They're just roll out and go to Deer Creek, but it's up on the top side of Deer Creek. So
okay, yeah.
Between Strawberry and Deer Creek.
Nice.
Which are two lakes here in Utah. So,
reservoirs.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, both of them are reservoirs.
Yep.
Strawberry Reservoir and Deer Creek Reservoir. So,
very fun.
Yeah. So
how are the boats? Did you get to drive one?
We didn't get to. No, they didn't actually go with us on this trip.
Jerks.
It's her side of the family. So.
Oh, gotcha.
Not the side of the family that we were on.
Oh, okay.
Because we're both married into the family that we went and visited this weekend.
Gotcha.
So my wife and her husband are brother and sister.
Gotcha. Yep. Okay.
So,
well, fun.
now you know about the family. So I'm hoping I can kind of snuggle my way in or sneak my way in. I guess not snuggle, but sneak my way in there to go on some of the trips and get some footage of them doing it. And
that'd be fun with the Mavic.
Yeah.
That'd be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Well, sweet.
And the GoPro.
Yeah.
Both. Yeah. So we'll see if I can get some. If I do, I will put them out there in the world so you guys can see it and check it out. But yeah, that's pretty much it. How about latest outings? Did you get anything?
One.
Okay.
Well, technically two. Sort of. So earlier today, like I said, me and the boys went outside and drove around the SCX 24s.
That's very cool.
I got some fun video, put it up on my Instagram. But yeah,
awesome.
So I've got this weird rock feature that used to be a water fountain, but the pump broke, so it's just a rock feature in my front yard. But you can climb up one side and down the other, or you can climb down the first side, but you can't climb back up the second side. It's too steep. But you can go down it if you're very careful.
Oh, okay. Without rolling or anything.
Uh-huh.
Oh, nice.
Or getting your wheel stuck in a crevice.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm quite pleased with it.
Yeah.
And there's a big, huge dirt mound behind the rock feature that you can crawl all over. So we had the boys had a ton of fun with that. I got to, once they were done, they wanted paper airplanes, so we made paper airplanes, and they were chucking those around the yard while I continued to drive the rock crawlers around the yard.
Because you've never put those batteries to the ground, have you?
Oh, I do all the time.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right, because there was an episode where the batteries died, and the kids were still wanting to play.
I have 3 sets of batteries for each one. So
very nice. So
like,
you have a lot of fun.
And the Liperior 2S 500 milliamps, those
Yeah.
will run for 45 minutes on these things.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
Whereas the 300 milliamps or 350 milliamps they came with will run for like
15 minutes?
no, half an hour.
A half hour? Okay.
So, yeah, like
Well, that makes
there's
sense.
a ton of drive time in these trucks.
Yeah. That is pretty awesome.
So we did a lot of that. My other outing, I just on the simulator, just getting used to the feel of the tandem. I decided I want to do some skills practice, like we've talked about, deliberate practice.
Yeah.
So Real Flight 8 has have challenges built in, so you can improve your flying.
Okay.
One of their challenges is spot landing. So you start off with an aircraft, you get up to a certain point, and then it lights up a target on the runway.
You have to land on that.
And you have to land on it. And then the second stage is the same thing, but with gates down along the runway, so you have to come in with the runway.
Oh, okay.
And then it moves on to like a glider spot landing and a dead stick spot landing and all this sort of stuff in various planes. But I just sat there on the first level with the basic high wing trainer plane, tricycle gear, and just ran that over and over again, trying to get my landing. That airplane
simulator cost?
That one's $100.
That's the $100 one. Okay.
Yeah. So, but I bummed it off my father-in-law because he never uses it, so I have it now. Just like a lot of things I have.
Yeah. Derek, you have a lot of friends that are in this, have more money than me.
And me.
And they give you stuff all the time.
It's true.
So I'm a little jealous of that, but that's
I've gotten lucky.
Yes, you have.
So that was my other outing, just practice, deliberate practice. That the one airplane on that first level of the challenge for spot landing is a very slippery plane.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I don't like it.
Oh.
And there's no way to choose a different plane in the challenge. The challenge is with that plane.
You have to do it with that plane.
Yeah. It's very frustrating.
But you're only getting better, right?
Slowly. Very slowly. But yeah, that is the goal, is to get better. So, and that's okay. So those have been my outings.
Very cool.
I'm hoping to get out again soon, actually in the air.
I took my drone, my DJI drone, my quadcopter, to the vacation that we went to.
Yeah.
But I never took it out. So my outing was not
sad.
It was. I mean, we were pretty busy doing a bunch of stuff. And when we went to the lake, I forgot to take the drone with me.
Pics or it didn't happen.
Yeah, I know.
Drone footage or it didn't happen.
I know. And it didn't happen.
Waste of a trip.
But I'm not going to lie, that I should have taken my hammock with me, because there were so many trees in this area.
And I'm sure it was beautiful out there.
Oh, it was amazing.
Why didn't you? Double fail.
It was. I took the drone with me to the trip. I just never took it out. I didn't even take the hammock with me on the trip.
Yeah, that's a full-on double fail.
Yeah, I failed
I took
twice.
my hammock to Georgia just in case. I never got it out, but just in case.
I know. I failed. I'm a failure.
It's embarrassing.
Yeah, it really is. On both accounts, I could have flown the drone in the hammock.
You could have.
Which would have been like ideal.
All the proximity warnings. Tree.
Yes. But, so I did. That was my near outing. It was a near miss.
I don't think that counts, guys.
I don't think so either. But that's all I've had. That's all I've had.
Project updates then.
Well, we know where my projects are.
All right, his projects are moving nowhere.
Yeah, they really are. I mean, I did do research on finding an RC car, two different ones.
Okay, yeah,
that is part of a project.
That is.
Right?
That is
so
quality
I've done
time
some
spent.
research on that. Not a lot. Probably only maybe 2 hours.
You need to get your RoboMasters out.
Oh, I look at them. They're sitting on my shelf. I look at them all the time, and I think, where I need to. I need to get a good board that I can put out in my backyard, so we can.
That's right, because your boards are all warped.
They're all
like
warped.
potato chips.
Yes. And it's not as fun. Like, they go on grass if I keep it trimmed, but they're really more of a smoother surface type of truck. But they're super, super fun.
You just need to take them over to the church parking lot.
That's where I really should go. and set up the course over there.
Yeah.
And just because it's perfect. It's got enough little wavy hills, but it's pretty much smooth. And then we could take some obstacles and set up a course. I should do that.
That'd be fun.
I should take this summer, do a trip over there on a Saturday or something.
That'd be fun.
Oh, yeah.
All
Take
right.
all the equipment. So, but yeah, that's my latest project update.
Project
Updates. I know. I'm a slacker.
It's okay. I've been working hard.
You have a lot.
So part of this is what I realized I forgot. I put remember how last week I put Gentle Lady on my list of things to discuss in project updates, and I had no idea why. I remember why. It's because I got the covering for the main section of the wing on and shrunk down.
That is so nice looking.
And this last night actually, I put the black tips on the wings. So I now have very good, hopefully, we'll see how it is in the sky, but I'm sure it'll be super clear, orientation of left versus right. And I really like the black tips. That worked out really great.
So nice. I can't wait to see that in the air.
Yeah. And I learned a fun trick. So when I built this wing, I wasn't paying fully attention when I put on the second wing tip panel, and it warped the center panel. Like it twisted it pretty bad.
Okay.
So I put the covering on, and that twist was there. Like I set it down on a flat surface, and the front was sticking up like half an inch at least.
Oh my gosh,
it was bad.
Almost that would be unflyable.
Yeah. So I did some research online on how to fix that, and one video that I found said what you do is you hold it and you twist it back into the position that you want it to be.
Okay.
And then you run heat over the undersurface of it, and it'll shrink and tighten it, and the covering will hold it in the straight position.
Very cool.
So I did that. I twisted it and held it where it needed to be, turned the heat gun on high, and just ran it back and forth.
Is that why your heat gun was
clamped on here? Yeah.
Right there?
Yep.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. So I did that, and it's now perfectly flat.
That is so cool.
Both panels are perfectly flat, and it is ready to fly. And it's,
Yeah.
When you're looking at building your wing, you want to be careful of left to right, so lateral balance.
Yeah.
And if I can get my finger in the right spot.
That is very nice.
One side is a tiny bit heavier, but not by much.
You're not right in the center, though. Like, you were slightly to the right.
Was I?
Yeah, slightly to my side.
Well, let's take a look, see if I can. Oh,
Look
there
at
you
that.
go.
See? Like,
So I'm very pleased with how balanced that came out.
that is
I'm very
so
excited
I
for
can't
that.
wait to get that in the air.
So I got the wing fully covered. It is ready to go. And I have the fuselage covered. I've got a black battery hatch.
Yeah.
The front half up to the trailing edge of the wing is dark blue. The underside is black. And then the tail section, I did transparent blue. And I didn't realize how poorly it would match up with the dark blue of the front. So I'm not too pleased with that, but it's all right. It'll match the blue of my tail feathers.
Yeah.
But it's all right. It'll be good it'll be easy to see in the sky.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
it's a nice big dark bar. So
Yeah, you'll be able to tell if you're upside down or not.
yeah. So that's where I'm at right now. The next step is to mount or to hinge the tail fins and then mount them on the plane and then finish connecting the control surfaces or the control rods. And then it's ready to fly.
You have to invite me when you go.
Oh, I will. Yeah, I'll need a cameraman.
I'll be the cameraman.
So I'm really excited for that. And I figure my first few flights, I'll just chuck it, and then I'll use the mini high start that I'm going to make for it.
Okay.
And then during all that process, I will build its power pod, which I still have down here.
So you can get some gliding out there
Mm-hmm.
and then power it up
Yep, exactly.
and glide it down. And that is really fun. It is fun to take it up and just let it glide down.
Yeah, I'm super excited. What I want to try is combine the power pod with the high start. So I high start it up as high as I can get it, and then I power pod it even higher, and then I just play in thermals. Get myself like the high start should get me 100-ish feet in the air if I do
Okay.
it right, and then I can power pod up to like 200, where I can start feeling thermals and finding them, and then it's just a matter of finding them and controlling below the 400 feet.
Yep.
But I have the Archer GR6 in it ready to go. So I've already got my telemetry and I've got the model set up on my transmitter. It's all
And
right.
you said the power pack, you're not going to, I mean, the battery monitor that you've got, you're not going to try to put it in that.
No, I don't want to put that in
mean,
there because like this plane has to be a gram weenie. You have to count the grams on it.
Yeah.
I haven't weighed it since I've covered it, but the goal is to keep it under 250.
Yeah.
I am
With battery.
With battery, yeah. I'm not too concerned if I go over that. The batteries are like 20 grams, maybe not even that.
I mean, it would be nice just to be able to keep it under, 249.
Yeah.
Or less, just so you don't have to follow all of the
FAA.
Regulations.
Yeah.
But if not, you're already going to be ready for that, so it's not going to be a super big deal, but it would be definitely nice too.
I'm not too concerned because I've done it all according to the Willy-Nilly's guidelines, and everybody, like only a couple people have come out over 250. Everybody else is like in the 180 range.
Oh, wow. So way low.
I should be fine.
Yeah.
I haven't put, like, the receiver weighs nothing. My BEC weighs nothing. The servos are the larger of the recommended servos, but they only weigh a couple grams more. And I've used the recommended coverings, and the transparent covering weighs considerably less than the opaque covering.
Yeah.
But I'm not worried.
Very cool. That's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
So that's
it for
that
project
the only one?
updates.
The
yeah.
only one? Nice.
That I have been.
That's a lot of work you've done.
Yeah, I decided I want to get that thing out and I want to get it in the air. Intermountain slope silent flyers. The glider club here in Utah has a fun fly down at Point of the Mountain coming up in July, and I'd like to, if I can have this ready, it'd be fun to take it and show everybody.
That's gonna be
and then
nice.
also get my Spirit out again. So
yeah.
Because that thing's so much fun to fly. So that's where I'm at on projects.
All right.
Nothing else.
Very cool. So what about, that brings us basically to beginner tips. Do you have any beginner tips?
Do I have any beginner tips? So
I feel like I'm always looking this direction.
That's because that's where my projects
everything is at.
It's true. That's a pile of boxes I need to throw away.
Yeah, it's not much to look at except the
Savage
X.
truck, yeah. When you're doing your covering, so this is a bit of a sort of beginner tip. Beginner when it comes to covering, because my word, covering's an adventure. Figure out the temperatures for your covering, because there is a temperature at which the adhesive will activate and will cause it to stick.
Okay.
And there's a temperature that's considerably higher at which the film will shrink.
Okay.
And actually tighten into place.
Yeah.
Learn what those are, and if you need to, get a test piece of balsa, and cut a small piece of your film, and practice ironing on. Figure out how it works, because it prepares you better for when you go in to actually putting it on a plane. Like my first covering I ever did was on my Chaos wing, and I did the battery hatch cover first.
Yeah,
because that's just a slightly curved rectangle.
Yeah,
it's very simple, very smooth. So I learned how to cover with that piece, and then I went on to the fuselage, so it was a box, and then I went on to the wings, and that overall went really well. And then similar thing with the Gentle Lady, and just the whole thing is take your time, go slow. Don't worry about getting it uber tight in the beginning. Just try and get it on nice and smooth and even, so you don't have weird wrinkles halfway through because you pulled one way instead of the other. And then once it's all on and tacked down and trimmed and fit and all that stuff, then you go over with your higher temperature on either your iron or on a heat gun, and you shrink it into place. And when you're doing the shrinking, if you're using the iron, you can kind of go over it slowly to shrink it in. If you're using the heat gun, you're either going to have low heat or high heat most of the time. The high heat is very high, so don't be too close. You will cook right through the stuff if you're not careful.
Oh, yeah.
So find that nice middle ground to shrink it into place, and just kind of, It's like you're spray painting. You don't just hold it in one place and just cake on the paint. You do brushing strokes, sweeping strokes to get a nice even coat. Treat your heat gun in a similar fashion.
All right. Yeah, that makes sense.
So it's an art. It takes practice.
You did a very good job on it.
Thank you. I am very pleased. The fuselage I'm not uber pleased with. I ended up, so when I did, the way I did it is I did the bottom first.
Okay.
Then I did the top, I think. No, I did the bottom, then the sides, then the top. And that's how I did around the back where the transparent blue is. I did the black bottom, transparent blue sides, transparent blue top. Then when I came to the front, I should have done the opaque blue around the front of the nose.
Yeah.
Around the front of the nose. Instead, I went to one side.
Oh, okay.
So I started going to one side, whereas I should have done the bottom so that I could wrap underneath up on one of the sides and then put the side piece on to glue that down, basically.
Yeah.
And what I ended up having to do was kind of peel back the one side I had put on and put on the bottom layer and wrap it under and then put the side piece back over. And that was a nightmare. It turned out pretty well, but to be aware of your order of operations and what pieces go on first.
Yeah.
So
that's an extensive advanced tip.
Yes. Yeah. Covering is not a beginner thing. If you have someone that can guide you through it, absolutely do. If not, watch a lot of YouTube videos. They are out there. Some of them are kind of old, but they're still good and relevant. And use a test piece first.
I like that. And
Especially
do the easy pieces first.
Yes, do the easy pieces first. Figure those out, because covering's not cheap. The willy-nilly stuff, it's $350 a roll, and the rolls are 18 by 24, and two rolls will cover most of their planes.
Okay.
The Gentle Lady requires 3, so be aware of that. You don't want to waste a whole bunch of film.
Yeah.
So taking the time to get a small 3 or 4 inch square and test it out and wrap it around a corner and fold it over and all that stuff.
Do everything you would do on the plane, but as a test piece.
It's worth it.
Yeah. That will probably save you more doing that than not doing it.
Yeah.
Because then you won't have to redo as much. So, well, I think that's a good tip. That's a good tip. Not necessarily a beginner tip, but definitely a good tip.
Yeah.
For those that are wrapping their planes, their balsa planes. Planes. So
that's all I've got. I don't think I have anything.
Nice. My beginner tip is just I don't have a beginner.
Do your research like you're doing with your truck.
Yeah, do your research. Yeah, I mean that's what I was thinking of saying is do your research.
It's a quality tip.
Yeah, I mean spend some time looking for what you want. I mean, I've been pleased with the purchases I've had. But if I'd spent a little more time researching some of the stuff, I still would have gotten the things I got, but probably in a different order.
Yeah.
But yeah, so yeah, just spend some time, look some things up. Just it's okay to just go to the hobby store and buy something, but don't get the $800 thing right off the bat.
No.
Decide that is something that you're going to get into. Because even my first plane was only $150. Plus, plus
the few bits to
electronics
finish
and
it,
stuff
but still.
to finish it. But just the plane itself was right around $150.
That's a good price for an ARF kit, ARF kit.
Yeah, so just do your research. I think that's a great beginner tip. Spend some time looking some things up to know that that's going to be what you want.
Yeah.
Especially the bigger ticket items. Spend some more time on those.
Well, and not only something that you want, but something that you can learn on quickly.
And it's going to do what you want.
Yeah.
Like the Tyrannus, I'm glad I've got that controller.
Oh, absolutely.
I'll be able to take that
through everything.
Pretty much everything I'm ever going to fly.
Until FreeSky no longer supports its software, it can't be updated to their newest stuff. Yeah, you can fly it. You can use it until it breaks.
Yes, exactly. And so that was an expensive purchase, but it was worth it.
Yep.
At the advice of this guy. I didn't do the research. This guy's the one who did the research for me. But research was done. So yeah, beginner tip, research,
There you go.
and that's it. I don't have anything really else.
Yeah,
And-
that's it for me.
I mean, we're a little shorter than an hour, but
That's all right.
it's not bad. So
Share us your stories. We'd love to hear them. Give us any updates for stories that you have passed on to us. We'll share them here if we can.
Yeah.
And yeah, you want to wrap us up?
Sure, I love it. So remember, when flying inverted, up is down and down is expensive. Yeah. RPM is how hard you hit the ground, and torque is how far you have to dig to get it out.
Yep.
Thanks, guys.
See you guys.